Okay. Thank you, Kim. We appreciate you asking us to do this. And Kim, we've known for many years too, and she is a fabulous resource also for seniors needing any type of information on she is a wealth of knowledge. Okay. So we are, again, like she said, Lori Tracy from Organized Senior Move Saratoga, and Michelle is our office manager. So we're just going to go through quickly a slideshow of basically what we do. And then we'll explain a little bit about how to get rid of things. You guys are probably thinking about maybe moving, thinking about transitioning, or maybe you're going to stay in your own home and you just want to get rid of a lot of things. Okay, so we're just going to go through everything. Basically, Organized Senior Move Saratoga is a company that has been around for many years. We do not help just seniors, we can help anyone. And we are a company who facilitates the entire move process. So we help with many, many services. So we'll get started. And we're having, okay. So the first thing you want to think about if you're moving is a floor plan, okay? You may be living in a family home that you've been there for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. We meet people, maybe a 3-bedroom, a 5-bedroom home, and then they're going to downsize into a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment. So doing a floor plan makes a lot of sense. And we have project managers that can do that. We go and we measure the space that you're going to move into, a smaller space, and we make sure that we know where the cable outlets are, where the electrical outlets are. So we know exactly, and we measure every wall. So we know how much furniture will fit. And 2 things when you're moving, if you're moving, floor plan does. One is that you know exactly where the furniture is going, so that when the movers come in, you pay the movers by the hour. You want the movers to come in, know exactly where the sofa's going, where the TV's going, and where your bed is going. Okay, and the second reason why a floor plan is very important, just so that you know what you can take to the new home that you're going to. And the next slide is, how long have you lived in your home? 10 years, 25 years, 50 years. Over the years, we all accumulate a lot of things. We meet so many people like yourselves that maybe collect things. Some people collect bottles, some people collect art, some people collect tools, books. It goes on and on and on. The longer you've lived in a home, obviously, the more things that you accumulate. Making the big move, any move, can be stressful. You can be anxious. We get phone calls every day of the week, and people say, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about moving and it's so stressful. Or Michelle just got a phone call last night. A gentleman called who's out of town. His mom is in independent senior living, needs to now move into assisted living, and it needs to happen within a week's time. So we handle all kinds of stressful situations, overwhelming situations, and emotional when emotions are high. It's very stressful to do a move and thinking about all that needs to be done. When we say downsizing and sorting, we can help you with it if you want to do it on your own. We always say start small. You can sit down in a living room, watch TV, watch the news one night, and just go through a junk drawer, okay? Organizing it, getting rid of the junk, things that when you look at something, have you touched it in the last year or 2 years? Now is the time to get rid of things. Maybe you could give it away if you have in a junk drawer, let's say, if you have tons of pencils, you don't need them. Maybe you can donate them or give them to some children who can now use them in school. Or if you're getting rid of some clothes, maybe you need to know someone who, would like to use the clothes that you no longer use, or you can certainly donate them. But start small. Certainly don't walk down into your basement and look at accumulation of 30, 40, 50 years of stuff and think, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? Start small, start 1 hour at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself. And that's why people hire us to help with that. Do you love everything in your closet? You know, you see on the split screen, you'll see a lot of closets on the left that we see all the time. People just basically buy clothes, don't wear clothes. It goes into your closet and you don't get rid of anything. Now's the time. And when we're working with you, helping you downsize and sort, we basically would take every single item out of that closet and go through things one by one. And I'm sure there's things in your closet that you don't love, you don't wear, that don't fit you, things that you can certainly donate and get rid of. Make sure that you've got space in your closet so that you can fit everything. Sorting and downsizing is a process. Okay, what we usually say to clients, if you want to sort by yourself or downsize, you can basically get make 3 different piles, whether you put them in boxes or bags or whatever. Okay, there may be things in a bedroom, in a spare bedroom, your child has moved out, there may be photo albums or CDs or things that they haven't taken. You know, if there's something that you want to save for a family member or an heirloom, that you don't want to move with you, but you want your children to have it, put it aside, put a post-it note with their name on it, put it in a box. And the next time you see that person, give it to them or ship it to them if they live out of state. The next thing is donate. If you're going through your closet and you have a lot of clothes, because of COVID last year, we normally drop things off for clients at a donation site, but we found the blue bins were very, very useful because you can drop them off on your way grocery shopping, on the way to the library, you know, just to drop off things that you no longer want as far as clothes and shoes and items like that. And then the last thing is everything that goes back in your closet. If you're moving, you can basically downsize or sort through your whole kitchen cabinets, and everything that's in the cabinets is things that you're going to keep. Everything that you no longer want, you don't think you're ever going to use them, now's the time to get rid of them, where you box them up, take them to a donation site, possibly sell items, or give away to family and friends. How many cabinets do you have now? You know, we go into homes that people have lived for many years and they have a huge amount of cabinets, lower cabinets, upper cabinets, drawers. And then we go to their new apartment and there may be 2 drawers with maybe 8 cabinets or 10 cabinets. In their old home, they had 30 cabinets. So you really have to realistically think about how much space that you're going to have. And, you know, we find that older people are not using the things that you used to, you know, if you used to entertain for 10, 12 people, you have place settings for that many people to have dinner over on a holiday, or the crock pot. When was the last time that you used a crock pot? If you're living alone or it's just you and your spouse, there's no longer need for large, huge items that you probably don't use anymore. Will you continue to use everything in your garage? So many times we help people move when they're going from a family home that they've been in for years and years, and now they're going into a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment in senior living or independent living, and they're not going to have a garage space. So if you're looking in this garage, are you going to use coolers anymore? Do you need to do lawn work? You're not going to need the rakes anymore, the old paint from the house. These are things that you need to get rid of, and we're going to talk about a little bit any questions that you guys have. That you're probably not going to move everything that's in your garage right now. The average move uses over 70 boxes. Our average move, when we bring our van that is packed with boxes and packing material, we usually use anywhere between 70 to 100 boxes. Okay, boxes are expensive no matter where you get them. That's about $250 in boxes. If you ever use our services, we provide all the boxes and all the wrapping materials. Okay, so that's a great thing that we provide when using our services. We take care of that. Like I said, we have a van. We are all women and we do this every day of the week. We do it in an organized fashion. So we make it easy. So you don't have to go out and get the materials. You don't have to physically move everything, and you can stay in your own home between packing up and moving. when you use more organized senior moves, or if you're going to do this yourself, you would normally pack ahead of time. And here you're seeing all of our boxes already packed at the end of the day. We pack every single thing the day before the move. Okay, we send a staff in of 4, 5, 6 people, depending on how much you have. And we pack everything between 9:30 and 3 o'clock. And then we are done. And the next day is the move day. So we bring all the boxes and everything, and whether or not you want to do it yourself, you would put everything safely in boxes and label them per room, so that when the movers or whoever's going to help you move, you're going to make sure that they put it in the room that it's going to, whether it be a bedroom, a living room, or a den or office. And on move day, next day after the day of packing, we start at 8 o'clock in the morning. We have the moving truck arrive usually between 8:30 and 9. As you can see in all these pictures, we have a great staff. We do this every day. And by 5 o'clock that day on move day, we take all the boxes away. We make the bed. We hook up your electronics. We take away any wrapping paper that we've used, and we can hang art, and we make your new space look and feel like home. So we take the stress away, we take the worry away, and the exhaustion away from you. And again, you'll just be ready to live at 5 o'clock, like you can see in these pictures. There's some of our team there with a very nice client that we helped a couple of years ago. And she's ready to start living in her apartment. And she was very happy with our services. And that's what Organized Senior Moves does. And again, we help you sort and downsize. So we'll talk a little bit about that next. Maybe Kim can come in, and then we'll start opening the questions. I'm sure you guys have lots of questions for us. We need to unmute.
Kim. I can stop the screen.
Hey there, sorry about that.
It's okay.
That's okay.
Go ahead. Now we see everybody again. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Now you guys can unmute yourselves and ask away. I do have a question that came in via email, and let's see if we can find it again. We were just talking about it beforehand. So someone who's moving in August, and she has a concern about getting rid of all of the things that they're not going to take. She was wondering about suggestion of donating household things like furniture. What do you suggest doing with the stuff that doesn't fit in any of the typical categories for donations? And what info do you have on resellers or buyouts?
Okay.
And, sharing contacts for some of those.
So yeah, so no, we actually help with this all the time. That's one of the biggest things that people need help with, is the downsizing and getting rid of the items that they no longer want. Usually we put that in a couple different categories. What we say is, first, make sure that family, that you give them or they take anything that you don't want. Far too often, somebody says, oh, I got rid of this and my niece ended up wanting it. So always, always, always ask, because sometimes they want the craziest thing. So make sure you're giving family anything that they want that you are willing to give them. Other than that, we have a few different ways to get rid of things. One is an auctioneer. Auctioneers typically deal with valuable things. Not necessarily even just antiques, because believe it or not, a lot of antiques really aren't worth very much. But auctioneers are always a great way to get rid of things. Estate sales, we have great estate sale guys that will come in and they will sell everything from, that favorite couch to, those paint cans that are half full. It's amazing what estate sales can sell. There are also buyouts. If you don't want a buyout or an estate sale, sometimes people don't want people in and out of their house. It's a lot of people. Sometimes people are weary of that. So we do have a lesser option, which is a buyout, which is also great if you don't have a lot of stuff, where he will come in, he'll take a look at everything that you want to get rid of, and he'll offer you a blanket amount for just everything, and you can either take it or leave it with that one. And then there is donations, which we love donations. We've worked with a lot of great donation companies. So we know exactly where to get rid of everything. Books, we love to donate to the library. It's amazing what doesn't sell though. We see a lot of people with Waterford Crystal and Hummels and a lot of those Thomas Kincaid paintings and statues. They were all marketed as collectibles. And unfortunately, I hate to tell people, they were so mass marketed that they're not really worth anything anymore. You can go to almost any thrift store and you can pick up Waterford Crystal for, you know, pennies on the dollar. So I hate to break your hearts, but that's usually the way it is. We love a lot of the local donation shops that we've worked with. We would love Habitat for Humanity. They have a great Restore. They actually, I think they have 3 of them. We work most closely with the one up in Fort Edward, but then there's also the Reshop in Boston Spa, which is wonderful. Michelle is great down there. The Furniture Bank in Albany, they're wonderful. They actually, they take a lot of beds. They give back to the community. They're able to help people that are getting back on their feet. And so it's always a nice cause. It gives you, you know, good feeling in your heart to be able to give back a little bit, the things that you're not using anymore, because that's one of our biggest things that we tell clients is if you're not using it, if those candlesticks are sitting in the back of your closet, they're not doing you any good. Get rid of them. Don't let that stuff hold you down. Treasures in Saratoga is wonderful also. They give back to the Saratoga Hospital. A lot of their proceeds go to different different programs there. So there's a lot of really great options to get rid of things. And then there's stuff that you can't get rid of. Mattresses. Mattresses, you can't resell them in New York State. It's illegal. Most donation companies won't take them. That comfy couch that you love, but you know, it doesn't have a new place in your new apartment or your new home. You know, maybe donation sites don't want it. Maybe there's a tear or a stain. Donation sites are getting pickier and pickier by the day, because so many people are giving back to the community and giving back to these donation sites. So they are getting a little bit inundated with everybody's excess stuff. So they are being a little bit pickier. Maybe something that, you know, you think is just fine, it's maybe not really up to their standards. That's where we come in. We always offer a completely complimentary consultation when we start working with a client. What we do is I answer the phone 1 million times a day. And my first question is, when are you trying to make your move? Because from there, I will backtrack it and I will say, okay, what we typically do is we come to you. We set up a time to come meet with you. We take a tour around your house. Don't clean up before we come, because we want to see exactly how you guys are living and figure it out. We open up cabinet doors and we see exactly what you have, because from there we're able to decide, do you have enough for an estate sale? Do you have unique items that an auctioneer would be interested in? Do you have a lot of stuff that's great but not really worth you know, an estate sale? It would be better for donations, and if so, where are we going to donate it? Sometimes clients have their own donation sites that they want to work with. You know, we have had a lot of clients who want things donated to their church, and we can definitely do that. Keep in mind that the donations are usually a tax write-off. So if you're selling your home, it's great to get those tax write-offs for the next year. As far as mattresses and all that good stuff, then after that, we do have junk removal, because it's almost inevitable that you're going to have junk to get rid of at the end of the move. I think that's everything. Any questions?
So there was another in the chat, Michelle.
Okay.
Says, I'm a senior considering moving from home to senior apartment. How does your firm work with homeowners want to discard and pack up items for storage while selling the home?
We can definitely help with that. Typically, we can start packing some of the items that maybe they don't need as much of. Go through kitchen cabinets and anything that's not necessities. If you want to clear off your home for staging, we can definitely do some packing in layers rather than all in one day like we typically do. I don't feel like that's the most convenient way to do it, but if you are trying to sell your home before you move out, we've done that many times where we clear counters and start putting stuff away. We've even helped with the staging of the home. That way the realtors can come in and take pictures if they don't do that themselves. We've definitely been able to help with that. Was that right?
Yeah, great. Thank you. Anyone else have a question?
Oh, Phyllis says, what is our fee for the move? So that I can't give you the exact fee, unfortunately, because what it is it depends on how big or small the job is. That's where the consultation really comes in, because when you come in, the consultation's free. We come in, we look at everything, and we're able to kind of give you a ballpark of what we think it'll cost. And usually, Lori and I have been doing it for so long that Lori gets that fee in there almost to the dollar most of the time. So she's pretty on point after we see the things. But unfortunately, until we see it, we're not able to give you a price.
And also, you can also go on our website, organizedseniormovesaratoga.com. And if you click on the link that says services, you're going to see a 4-part where we talked about a floor plan, packing and unpacking. There's a rough estimate. Basically, for all of our services, we charge $55 per man hour. So a small move can be anywhere from $800 to $1,000. Our typical move, where we're moving from a 3-bedroom home into a small apartment, usually runs around $3,000. That's for the floor plan, for the packing and the unpacking. We say to everyone that we meet, the first day we meet, you can hire us for as much or as little as possible. If you just need some help downsizing, we can do that also. Any other questions?
I'm a senior considering moving from a home to a senior apartment. How does your firm work with home? Oh, I read that one already. Let's see, this one. Oh, remember, Monica was telling us that the standard deduction is now very high and your deductions have to clear that before the tax deductible. It's about $27,000. Oh, I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more again. I know that it's always changing. We always say, especially paperwork and all that good stuff. I don't think anything stays the same forever. So, we're always learning and always growing as new information becomes available.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Bill.
It makes sense for folks to wrap the cost of your program into the sale of the house. Would you guys work with a homeowner on that so that they can get paid from the proceeds of their home?
Extenuating
Yes, sometimes we do.
Yeah, extenuating circumstances. We understand that is an issue that people have come up against from time to time, and we have worked with clients in the past with that situation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Also, keep in mind, we can also charge and put anything on a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people put it on a credit card until after the sale of the home, and then they pay off, whatever it is that they want. But when we do estimates, we come pretty darn close to exactly what we see in your home when you're trying to pack and move. Questions? Any other questions?
Do you recommend the estate salesperson or the company if you have, items that you feel are better and you want to do it through an estate sale?
What happens when we go to look at your home? First of all, it's best to have us come in, take a look at everything. And usually keep in mind, an estate sale is usually when someone passes away
Oh,
and
okay.
family takes everything. But under circumstances, depending on what you have, how much you have, where the location of your home is, sometimes we don't recommend an estate sale because, number one, just because of the location. If you're way out and the parking isn't good or the street signs aren't really good, because when you have an estate sale or a garage sale or any type of sale, you want to make sure that people can find you and locate you. So, once for an estate sale, it can be profitable. The estate sale gentlemen that we use, they've been doing it for many years. They have a great showing and turnaround. And anyone who's going to do an estate sale for you will usually take between 30 and 40%. Okay. They prep it, get rid of it. And then in the end, depending on what didn't sell, then they can either take it away or you can hire, we have great junk guys that we use all the time too. So an estate sale depends on what you have and where you live.
Okay.
I see a question from Pat saying, if you are doing the downsizing and packing on your own, how far in advance do you suggest starting? It's never too early to start sorting and downsizing. Let me tell you, today, seriously, I have gotten off of jobs at the end of the day and gone home and boxed up my entire bookcase and gotten rid of them the next day. It is never too early to start downsizing. Start small, start getting rid of things now, because then you don't have to deal with that overwhelming feeling of there's so much, where do I start? So I don't think it's ever too early to start sorting and downsizing. For packing, I would definitely say, typically if you're packing on your own, start a couple weeks in advance and start packing some of the things that you maybe don't use that often, and be honest with yourself. If you haven't used it, don't put it in that box to go with you. Get rid of it, because if you haven't used it in the last year or two, you're probably not going to use it again.
And also too, if you're packing on your own, here's some other great suggestions and tips. You can go to a liquor store and a grocery store and get free boxes. You can certainly do that. Or you can also go to Walmart or Target or Home Depot and buy the totes. We always recommend a plastic Rubbermaid tote in clear so that you can see what's in it. Because even if you move from a home into a small apartment, sometimes there's storage down the hall or maybe a spare room closet that you can take those totes depending, we work with a lot of people that, they knit all the time and they have all this yarn, or maybe they are a painter and they have all these paints. So something like that, you certainly aren't going to display them in a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment, but to put them in totes that you can stack and store in a closet or an area that that you're not using is a great resource. And when we're packing, always put like items together. I can't tell you how many times we pack someone and they have batteries in one drawer in the kitchen, and then in the bedroom we see more batteries, and then maybe in the basement downstairs there's old batteries. Also look for expiration dates. We were in a home yesterday, we were packing up, and I saw spices from 2014. I mean, I know spices last a long time, but things like that are edible, and medication. Now is the time to discard them, get rid of them, recycle them. We're big on recycling anything that, is not sellable or that you want to get rid of too. So it's never too early to start packing and sorting.
I see Catherine asked, since Waterford and fine china and silver are not valuable now, what should I do with it? So Waterford and fine china, they're not very valuable. There's still a market for them. If you have a little bit of time, you can try to sell it. I'm not saying, throw it out in the garbage. So I would definitely say if you're not keeping it, maybe keep one piece that you love or, you want to display. We've actually seen a lot of really great ideas where somebody will take a shadow box and just take one place setting of that, wedding china. But if you're not keeping it, you don't want to keep it, family doesn't want it, it's a great donation thing. You can try to put it in an estate sale or a buyout. You probably won't get very much for it, but you'll get a little bit. That's for the Waterford and the fine china. For the silver actually does still have a value to it. And it's actually a pretty good value as long as it's real silver, not silver plated. If it's real silver, you can actually bring it to most jewelers, Saratoga Golden Coin. There are a lot of places, jewelry, yep, Ray, jewelry too. There are a lot of jewelers that will actually buy some of this stuff because even if it's, broken or, tarnished, whatever, they will actually melt it down and they'll make new pieces out of it because that's the beauty of the recycled metals is that you can, repurpose it and reuse it. So I would say silver and jewelry, definitely, bring it to a jeweler and see what they can do for you.
I also want to mention just once this video is done, we have a phone number. Michelle answers our office phone at any time. You can email us anytime, day or night, and we can certainly answer your questions. We're a great resource around the Tri-City area. We've been doing this for many years. We're bonded and insured, and we only work with clients, or we only work with referrals that we personally know and we use their services. Okay, so we're a great resource. Just to give a phone call and we can answer any question at length.
Anybody else? I'm shocked that nobody asked about pianos. I think this is the only meeting that I've ever been in that somebody's not like, what do I do with my old piano that's sitting in my living room? Because answer is try to donate it or give it to somebody because nobody wants the piano. But I think that's it for the questions that are on the side of my little chat here. Anybody else have a question that they want to ask for the class?
I wanted to say, I'm Margaret. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
hi, Margaret.
Okay. I'm Margaret. Troy Area United Ministries takes couches, takes
Yes, we love the
beds.
Tom program.
Good.
Yeah,
Mattresses.
I've recommended them a few times. I have her number in my phone. I think Tamika. She's wonderful. I've actually talked to her a couple times. The TAUM program.
Furniture program.
Yes, the furniture program. Yep, and I love Unity House too for some clothes. And then I see Monica's asking me what our phone number is. So our phone number, does everybody have a pen? Okay, ready? It is a 518 area code, 339-6402. You can call me anytime you want. I'm also very tech savvy, so I can text. If you ever want to text me, my phone goes on, night mode at night. But if you're sorting stuff at 11 o'clock at night and you're like, I wonder what I can do with this, you can text me and I'll answer you the next morning. So feel free to either give me a call or text me anytime you want to. I see Sharon said that the summit recommends us. We love our communities. We've moved a lot of really nice people in and around Saratoga. So that's always nice to hear. We love when people recommend us. Funny true story. Are you reading it?
Yeah, well, I also wanted to let everybody know that you guys will get an email follow-up with a copy of the PowerPoint slideshow. So that will have all of the information that Lori and Michelle talked about today. But yeah, Catherine's story looks pretty funny, right?
It does. I would have never thought to call the hospital. We talked to the hospitals a lot to drop off different things there, but I would have never thought to call the hospital about an organ. Oh, grandfather clocks are in the same category as pianos. I'm sorry, guys. Grandfather clocks, sometimes they have a good value depending on which grandfather clock it is. But basically they are almost an outdated item because nobody wants the floor space for them anymore. It's very hard to say, oh, I'm willing to give up this space that could be, you know, utilized in a better fashion than the grandfather clock. As pretty as they are to listen to, I know that we've had a lot of clients that as we're packing them up, you know, they're dinging every hour or so, and they're so pretty to listen to. But unfortunately, you know, you can try a buyout, guys. Sometimes they'll offer, sometimes you can donate them. So I would definitely call, you know, Habitat for Humanity or the Restore, what is it? Rebuilding Saratoga, the Restore there in
Restore.
Boston Spa.
Yep.
Both of them will take a grandfather clock, as long as they don't already have one or two in stock.
So Michelle, I have a quick question too. What about things like durable medical equipment? So like bedside commodes and hospital beds and walkers and wheelchairs and all of those things that sometimes we end up crutches, you know, that end up with-
We deal with the SAIL program, the Southern Adirondack Independent Living, I believe is what it stands for, the SAIL, SAIL. They actually take all of those pieces of equipment. And what's really great is, I don't know if any of you ever need any of those items, but what they do is they actually loan them out to people who need them for short-term use, or, you know, sometimes they just connect people, like if they need it for long-time use, they will give you, you know, a walker. They actually have a lot of things in their inventory that I'm shocked about. They were showing me a bicycle for the beach that they had last year, which was really cool. So I definitely recommend the SAIL program for those things. It's a great resource.
Mhm.
Also too, I just want to add, Kim, if you want to get rid of anything, also call your local senior center.
Yes.
You know, sometimes they will take things depending on what it is. You know, sometimes they like donations of books and different things like that. So your local senior center is a great resource also.
Mhm.
And someone said that they missed our program. I'm sure Kim is she's recording it, so I'm sure that you can watch it later on.
Right. So by the first part of next week, it should be up on our website, which is www.herzoglaw.com. And then, you know, like I said, everybody who registered will be getting a copy of the PowerPoint as well. That will have all the slides included in it with the information. So
Terrific. And then quick question was Habitat for Humanity. They will schedule a pickup of furniture, Oriental carpets. They will schedule a furniture pickup. Call them as in advance as possible. Like I said, everything's a little bit booked up right now. I highly recommend at least giving 2 to 3 weeks of leeway to get rid of items to schedule a pickup. So call places as soon as possible. Because that's what I do for clients. I call them almost a month in advance sometimes, just to make sure things go. Oriental carpets are great. They do have a buyout value. They do sell at estate sales, but definitely nothing sells for what you bought it for. It's just like buying a new car off the lot. You know, you're gonna buy it for, you know, $40,000. You're going to be really lucky if you get it, you know, $5,000 for it. So definitely cut your expectations in half. And I always say, would you rather pay to get rid of it or have somebody pay to take it? Because, you know, it may not be the price that you wanted to get rid of it for, but if you don't get rid of it for that price, more than likely you're going to be stuck having somebody haul it away, and you're going to have to pay for that service. Oh, and I'll have to mark down the Bethlehem Lutheran Church. That's good to know.
My leaving thoughts, Kim, is I just want to say to people, you come in this world with nothing, you're going to leave with nothing. In between is all just stuff. So really don't hang on to your stuff. If you're thinking about moving, you want to move, you need to move, only move what you're going to use and what you're going to take. It's crazy to pack up things that you're never going to use or you're never going to take, and to pay a mover to put it in the truck and move it to another spot because you're never going to use it. Thank you so much. We appreciate you asking us to do this, Kim.
of course, thank you guys. Just one more round if anybody has any questions or thoughts before we end our session today. I really appreciate everybody joining in.
There are a lot of really great, I see the donation gown
Alright.
question, or donation for the wedding gown. Bring it to a thrift shop. Sometimes what is that wonderful place on the corner there? They actually just opened up a bridal section
In
upstairs.
Saratoga, I
Ah,
don't know.
my
It's on the
goodness.
same street as the hospital.
Yes, but a lot of places will purchase wedding gowns, and then there's also a great group that will take your wedding gown and they repurpose them into christening clothes. So I can get that information and I can send it to Ray. A buyout is kind of like an estate sale, but it's not. Oh, angel gowns. Thank you, Monica. The word was slipping my brain. Yeah, that's a great group. But a buyout is basically everything in your house that you want to get rid of. They come in, they look at it, and they give you a set price for that. So there's no nickel and diming of an estate sale. They give you a flat price and you can either take it or leave it. And they usually are able to clear it out within a week or two. So, you know, you don't get quite as much as if you had an estate sale. It's more of just you want to get rid of it and he's willing to take it. And sometimes he's able to sell some of the stuff and then other times he ends up donating some of it. So it's kind of a cut your losses type deal.
Looks like Kathleen has a question.
I was just going to comment in regard to a wedding gown, or if you have a wedding gown, it is of an older style or age, check possibly with your local historical association if that's in your area and that's where the gown was used. Sometimes the historical associations or even the state museum, depending upon the age of something, might be interested in the object.
That's a good thought.
What do we do with graduation gowns and professors' gowns who walk in graduations?
I would say that would be another donation item, unfortunately. Sometimes you can consign it at somewhere that does the consignment for the clothing if it's very nice. But I'm not sure beyond that.
Thank you.
And Sharon has a great idea of checking with different theater departments, maybe
Yeah.
like homemade theater, the Capitol Repertory, because they're always, you're right, they're always looking for
Yeah.
costumes and things like that. I know, my daughter went to the Waldorf school and they had a huge classroom that had been converted into, sort of their theater closet and they had all sorts of things. So that's a great idea in checking into different programs that might want some things. Oh, and fur coats
Yeah,
too.
same
That's one of the
thing.
things
I would say consignment. We've actually had a lot of them, and believe it or not, our buyout guy and even our estate sale guy, more often than not, he tells me that when something like that sells at an estate sale, usually the people plan on ripping it apart and using the material for other things. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, it looks like that's all the questions.
Again, if anything comes up after we sign off, you guys are more than welcome to reach out to Michelle and Lori independently. I, again, appreciate everyone joining us today, and I hope you found it informative and helpful.
Thank you.
All right, enjoy the rest of the afternoon. It's beautiful
Yes,
out.
thanks. Go enjoy
Kim.
the sunshine, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.